got it, from a job or whatever, you should report your income. Nobody should cheat on their taxes.
Okay. What kind of scams are out there as far as internet?
Well, I mean, they don't work for very long because, as soon as the search engines figure out people are doing this, they shut down that back door, and a lot of times they'll just delist your site completely.
So they can tell if you're actually using these tricks.
Oh, sure. I mean, Google's got some smart people working for them. So, I mean, the best thing to do is give the search engines what the search engines want. And what the search engines want are, number one, they want fresh, unique content. So if you've got a website about selling bird cages, then you need to have articles about different types of bird cages and articles about people who are using the bird cages and the different types of birds that use them, and things like that.
That's why I have all these articles about different types of birds and different types.
Sure.
Not that I'm into bird cages.
Yeah, right. Or, whatever your website's about. And then the second thing is you need to have lots of incoming links to your site. And the search engines like to see other sites linking to you because that proves that you're trustworthy. And then if a lot of people are linking to you, then they know that you're not a scammer.
So you don't have the reciprocating links. Does that mean anything if you have
Yeah, you don't want reciprocating links because the search engines can tell if you're making deals with people. I'll link to you and you link to me. They don't want to see that.
So reciprocal links actually hurt you.
They don't necessarily hurt you, but they just don't help you.
Is that right?
So you want one-way links. You want other people linking to you without you having to link to them.
That's interesting.
And then the third thing is you want to have a good user experience. And, if you've got unique content and fresh content, that'll pretty much take care of that. But, if someone does a search in a search engine and hits your website and they're on your website for 5 seconds and then hit the back button, that's not a good user experience.
So they know, Google knows that the user isn't staying on your website for a long period of time.
They can track that. They sure can.
Really? So actually time how long
yes,
a consumer's on your website?
Yes.
Interesting.
If the consumer's on your website for 3 or 4 minutes, that's a good thing. If they're on there for 5 seconds, that's not a good thing.
Has there ever been a study how long people stay on websites?
Generally speaking, most people will hit a website for about 5 seconds and leave because they haven't found what they're looking for. So if you can get them beyond that 5-second point, you're doing good.
Is that right? So so 5 seconds is the average search time on a web page.
Right.
That's interesting. Business networking sites like LinkedIn or I think there's FARC. I mean, there's a lot of these websites that they call business networking sites. Are they worth getting in? They're a lot of trouble signing on, and you have to give them a lot of information. Are they worth it?
Well, personally, I don't use any of them because I think they're more for people who are involved in a local business, trying to get the business in a local area. I can see how they could be good for that. You network with people. If you're a real estate agent, you network with people there to try to get leads. But as far as my business, I don't use them.
Yeah. Whereas I know that sometimes you'll put a search engine. I know I was doing some work, and somebody said, well, we can't find you on the internet, and that's why I decided I want to get into these business networking sites. And I paid somebody to do that. I think it's helpful, but depending, I guess, on the type of business, because I'm looking to get a little bit more exposure than most other people. What about reseller programs?
Yeah, most of the time they're called affiliate programs on the internet. And generally speaking, just about any product sold on the internet can be affiliated with, meaning that a website owner can earn a commission by linking to that product. And the best example is probably Amazon. They started the first one, and theirs is actually called an associate program. But you can affiliate with Amazon, sign up for the associate program. It doesn't cost anything. And then any product that Amazon sells, you can put an image of that product on your website, and they'll provide the images for you. And if someone clicks that image and goes and buys that product, you make a commission.
So in other words, I can go to Amazon, become an affiliate, not even be a bookseller, not even have a bookstore and sell books or any kind of product.
Amazon has got so many different ways for you to do this. It's just unbelievable. They've got what's called widgets, where you can go in and you can create an actual store of Amazon products.
And
your own store.
And not stock anything.
You don't have to stock anything, no.
So basically, they're just using you as a third-party seller.
Exactly. You're like sort of like a distributor for them, I guess.
So in this economy, I mean, that's a great way to go. You don't have to stock anything, you don't have to do anything. You just have to be very proficient and obviously have a lot of time to work on.
You can do the same thing with eBay. eBay will share part of the revenue they get from the listing fees.
Really? I didn't know that.
Sure will.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that. Wow, that's great. So there's no
matter of fact, I've got a website.
Is there any agreement that you have to sign with them?
There is an agreement, but it's generally not signed. You just kind of click on I agree to the terms of service, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah,
That's great.
you know, and Amazon will pretty much accept anyone in the U.S. into their
Well, I think they
social program.
rate the sellers as well, but I mean, that's not really a big issue.
But I was going to tell you, I've got a website now. It's www.artificial-palmtree.info, and it affiliates with eBay, and I sell, you know, artificial palm tree stuff,
trees.
and I never see the product. People click the link, and every once in a while,
We actually
I'll
have a
make
lot of
sale.
palm trees on the lake up here.
Yeah,
Little
right.
palm trees.
Yeah, I saw those.
That's fun.
Can you support your community by watching great movies? Yes, you can, only with cable.
James, what do you feel is the next hot internet business?
Well, one thing I see right now that looks really promising is consulting to offline businesses, to retail businesses, and showing them how to get their business online. You know, a lot of times they already have a website presence, but they have no traffic coming to their site. So,
Or to their store.
or to the store, right? But you know, someone set up a website for them probably years ago, and they don't see any traffic to it. So they need someone to show them how to get their site into Google, for instance, how to get more people coming to their site to generate more customers, how to set up, say, a mailing list, an email list on their site.
So if you can become proficient in helping them move traffic into their store, that's a great way to do it. So anybody really
Exactly.
can do this.
Exactly, and as a matter of fact, I've got a friend that has set up a website that shows people how to do that, and I'll give you that link if you'd like later. But,
No, I'll take it now.
just go to my blog, and it's www.jamesjjones.com.
So James J. Jones.
JamesJJones.com, and that's my blog, and I'll have some posts in there that will have the links to it.
That's great. What about protecting your ideas? If you come up with a great idea and you want to kind of protect it, is it possible?
Well, you know, ideas themselves can't be copyrighted. You know, I could say, Joe, it would be a hot idea to go create a site about selling bird cages. Well, if you do that, then I have no right to that idea. But you know, if you created or say I created a report that showed you how to set up a website selling bird cages, and I gave you all the distributor information and how to drop ship that, then I could copyright that report, and you wouldn't be able to copy the report.
But basically the report, not the idea, obviously.
The report, that's right.
Right.
It's what you do with the idea that's important.
I think the position the government is taking now, they're in dire straits economically, and one of the things I heard they want to start doing is regulating the internet. They want to start taxing the internet. They want to actually put taxes on internet use. You see that coming? Because, by the way, I know that you have been, and I neglected to say this, you've been making your living doing online business for at least 10 years.
Well, I went full-time in 2002,
Right.
but I've been dabbling in internet marketing since '96.
Wow, that's a long time.
So, yeah.
So have you seen changes in the internet where you feel that they might start to regulate what we do?
Well, I think something that is imminent is state sales tax for internet purchases. Some of the states have
Across
it
the
now,
board,
or
right.
across the board. Yeah, that's going to come, if not this year, then next year.
A federal tax or state tax or both?
State tax. I'm not so sure about the federal tax. I don't think that'll fly.
Well, I know that eBay actually has agreed with the IRS to actually report to them all sales. I think in 2011, eBay is actually going to start. So if someone buys or sells something through eBay, they're actually going to send a 1099 to the IRS.
Well, you know, if you're making money selling on eBay, then you need to report that as income. That's income just as if you got it, you know, from a job or whatever. You should report your income. You know, nobody should cheat on their taxes.
Okay. What kind of scams are out there as far as internet?
Well, I
internet
mean,
use?
there's a lot of stuff out there that you got to be careful of. You know, what I tell people is just educate yourself. Don't be afraid of the internet. You know, one of the worst things is probably the phishing scams, where someone sends you an email that pretends like it's your bank, and then if you click on the link, it takes you to a site that looks like your bank, and then when you log in, they get your user ID and password. So what I recommend people do is if you get emails like that from some financial institute or someone you do business with, don't click on the link to log in. Actually go to your browser, navigate to the page, and log in through the regular login process.
I see what you're saying, right.
Yeah, don't click links in emails that take you to login pages.
Yeah, I've been to some pretty slick ones. Bank of America had some out there. Well, it's not the bank had one,